Well, howdy. I'm sitting on the front porch whittling. I learned to do this with my granddad when I was 7 years old. He would finish up the chores for the day. Cows were milked, chickens put to roost, hogs fed. He would sit down after supper and he would light his pipe, Prince Albert, and he would sit and he'd get out his knife and he would start whittling. My chores would be done and I couldn't wait to get my jackknife and go sit in my little chair beside Granddad and I'd start whittling too. Now my grandma did not like whittling. She didn't like all the scraps of wood everywhere, but my granddad loved it. It was his philosophy time. He would tell me stories while we sat and whittled through the evening. We didn't have television. I didn't have a computer. There's sure no games to play. But every night I loved sitting with Granddad as he would talk to me of his stories and tell me of his time while we whittled together. I never made anything, just a bunch of sticks that got whittled down really good. But I sure learned a lot of life and philosophy about how to live from my granddad. I sat there with him once while we were whittling, and he said to me, "You know, I heard you answer your mom a while ago, and you didn't say, 'Yes, ma'am.'" I said, "I didn't?" He said, "No, you sure didn't." He said, "That's not respectful, Bobby. You need to say 'yes, ma'am' and 'no, ma'am' when your mom asks you something." I learned it from grandfather, who told me sitting and whittling, this is how you need to act toward your parents. No real subject today. While I'm whittling, I'm just thinking about you. I'm thinking about those of you who may be in fear, who may just feel as though the world is coming in around you. I'm thinking about those of you who still have the joy of the Lord in your heart. You're not worried, you're not afraid, and you know that God is going to bring you through this. But I think about you all. I wish we could come together. I wish our churches would be open Sunday, but they're not going to be. I wish that somehow we could get to the point where we didn't have to worry about buildings and banks and offerings and all this trappings of church, but just love one another and care for each other. I'm thinking about you today. Get outside on the porch tonight and just whittle a little while. And thank God for your day. Thank God for everything that He has given to you. Thank God for what you didn't have this very day. This is Bob Sheldon, whittling from the mountaintop. God bless you.